are Confessional Magazine, and this is More to the Story, brought to you today by Iris and Bo, whose toner helps keep my laugh lines in check, because you never know what our guests are going to say. Visit irisandbo.com today and use code CONFESSIONAL for 20% off. So much love in this heart of mine. Welcome to Confessional Magazine. I'm Taylor. This is More to the Story, and today we are here with the wonderfully talented Jaida Aneese. Thank you so much for being here today, Jaida.
Hi, Taylor. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So today is August 20th, but more importantly, a new song was just released by Jaida today. Yay! And It is called Liquid. And Jaida, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What can you tell us about Liquid, and how did you, the song, I've listened to it, and I hope everybody at this point, now that you can access it, everybody can go and listen to it as well. But it's one of those that you're like, it kind of brought me back. I'm a little bit older, so it brought me back to like the days of like sitting in my car and like Boys to Men would come on the radio, and then like the next, like it'd be like, Alicia Keys or like all these people, and like you're bringing this new sound, but it kind of like has this like real soulful, pulls you in. So what's your writing process like, Jaida?
So my writing process, I pretty much write the most, I would say, when something like inspires me or I feel something. With Liquid, okay, first thing, like I write a lot of sad songs and like depressing songs. So like Liquid is like, well, like totally different than, what I naturally write. But Liquid actually started off as a sad song. And it was just kind of like, I wanted to change. I didn't want to keep writing sad songs, And so I'm like, so I was in the studio and we were going to I had a melody, and then, they're like, well, we just recorded like 3 sad songs. Let's try to switch it up. Let's try to have some happy vibes. So we're not all sitting here like in our feelings about to cry, So we did. I went to the hotel that night and just kind of took the same melody and just like totally changed the concept of it. And I wanted to make it happy. So I made it about love, because how is love not happy, So that's really just my process, is when I feel something or when I'm talking to a friend or something and they're explaining to me what they go through. I'm very understanding. And so I'm that type of person that like feels what you're saying to me, not just listening. So
you're an empath.
Yes. So I can put myself in their shoes and truly feel, because I actually care, what they're saying to me. So that's another part of my writing process, is paying attention to just feelings all around. And whenever I'm like feeling something, like I almost make myself feel it like 100 times more. Like it's just like, because I'm also a deep thinker, So it's like I make a situation deeper than it is usually, to put myself in that mindset to be able to truly feel and express the concept that I'm going for.
That's amazing, because you're then putting your all into the song, and it's transparent and it's coming out through your music, that it's the whole story. You're not just surface level storytelling. You're right. You're the person feeling this, and therefore your audience is that much more connected to it, because we're all feeling all the same things.
Yes, that's the goal. And that's also another reason, is because I feel like some stuff like a lot of people feel but don't necessarily put out there. And that's like a concept too in one of my songs, is just kind of, portraying yourself to be tough and not so soft, and I think that's just something like so many people do. I do it myself, so it's just like to actually be able to listen to something that's truly what you feel and not really have to tell anybody or say it, but yet you can listen to it and know like, okay, like I can relate to that. That's definitely a goal of mine, to connect to people in that way.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And you really, truly are like breaking grounds when it comes to connecting with people. I know you have a massive following on TikTok. Yes. You have like over 225,000 followers right now and over 4 million likes, which is just like mind-blowing. So when did you start your like TikTok, and what kind of things do you share over there?
Okay, so TikTok, honestly, like I have to shout my little sister out, because she was begging me for you, make TikToks, and so finally I did, and just kind of started making little dance videos with her and stuff. And then as we got into it, I started making TikTok videos with my boyfriend, and we just started doing little trends and little dances, just the fun stuff. And then I had always been able to talk in this Siri voice, and I'm like, dude, like we need to do this, like, because let's just do something. And so Then, you know, I kind of set up like a little prank on him, and we were in the car, and you know, I just kind of told him like, "Hey, I got a shot. You know, the doctor tripped me," and then he was like, "What?" And so, you know, the whole like controversy about being chipped and turned like the whatever. So I kind of took it and was like, okay, well, it turned me to a robot, you know. So I just kind of started talking in Siri voice, and just that's kind of just how it happened. So it was really cool to just be able to take that ability and just make it in a creative way. It was
Yeah,
fun.
that's so fun. What like it's just an open platform that you truly can express like yourself and like show the other side because you've got your music and everything going on, but this lets people connect with you on like the real fun, like day to
Right.
day,
Yeah.
the day to
Yeah.
day.
So that's great. And it's just fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. So what else? Who would you say growing up were your musical influences?
My musical influences growing up. I listened to a lot of old school stuff from my parents. You know, they were the old, you know, what, like you said, Boys to Men, Alicia Keys, Chris Brown, um, Usher, just a lot of the R&B influences and that kind of stuff. And obviously I loved my, you know, Justin Bieber as a kid and all that, you know, all that stuff as well. So that was pretty much all my musical influences, I would say.
So fun. So how would you say that the past, I mean, year plus now of this lockdown, if we want to call it that, how has that really affected you musically? Because I know some artists really took that time and garnered it and used it to, you know, dive in deeper and use it for a lot of writing time, but
Mm-hmm.
other artists have, you know, opened up these other doors for other creative outlets like the TikTok and all this other stuff. So how did you spend your time, and how are you presently dealing with things kind of not sure if the world's going to open up or not for live music, which we all need?
Right. Yes. Well, honestly, for me, not much hasn't affected me much just because so I record in Houston, Texas. And so that was one thing is going to the airport. It was around that time that I had a trip planned, and my flight got switched. So it was forget what it was. I think they made it go to a different area, and it was just like I wasn't gonna get on it because it made my flight like 3 hours longer than it was. And so that was kind of irritating. But other than that, like I honestly, other than traveling to Houston, I just, you know, write in my bedroom. And then whenever I get to Houston, we make it come to life, you know? So not much has changed. Obviously having more time on my hands and being able to write more helped for sure. But like I said, I'm more of an emotional writer. So if I'm not necessarily going through anything or feeling anything, or having the ability to necessarily talk to other people who are going through things, I might not get a concept like that. So I kind of just write off instinct. So that's kind of how that works for me. So it's kind of up in the air with that one.
Yeah. So did you go through like musical training or anything like that? Or do you have anybody that like you would say was like a super, not influence in the media per se, but somebody maybe in your own personal life that you just want to thank for, you know, really pushing you and believing in you?
Yeah, I've actually not gone through any training or voice lessons or anything. I did try once, but it wasn't really like a voice lesson just because I am from a smaller town. So we don't have that much ability now. But with everything going online, I would like to get into some of that just to grow. And I would say the person that pushes me the most would be my father. There's been times, and there still is, and I'm still new to this and still, you know, up and coming and stuff. So there's more to it, but just times where I'm like, oh, I don't want to, like, I want to give up just because it's doing this. And it's like, dude, we haven't even released a single yet. Like, but it's just frustrating, you know, the growth process and learning. But at the same time, it's just amazing being able to do that. Like my first time in the studio with producers, Jaida and Eddie, they both like helped me develop so much. I mean, the things I learned just even being in a real studio, you know, just because in here in Ohio, I did record in some studios, just kind of when I was younger, just to kind of start making connections, you know, but they were at home studios and stuff. But each experience has taught me a lot. And there's been so many people through the process that's believed in me and helped me through everything. It's a long list. So
That is so fun. I did just catch you say that you are in a small town in Ohio.
I am
Yes.
also in a small town in Ohio.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Yay, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to get out to be able to go record in the bigger cities sometimes.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So I always like to ask this question: where would you like to see yourself in 5 years, both personally and professionally?
So personally, I would just, in 5 years, I would just like to I'm okay. When I think ahead, like in the future, I get really like anxious. So I've actually been trying to not think so far ahead, but I do just want to like reach all my goals I have now. I mean, just everything, growing mentally, mental health, self-care, all that stuff, just, the basics at this age, that everybody's kind of working on and learning about. And I just think I'm at the point where different things happen, like you kind of start to realize a little bit about life. You kind of start to see things, how different people act, what can happen with family and friends. And I just think it's just a whole learning process. And so I think in 5 years, I kind of not necessarily want to be out of that process, but just have a more of an understanding of kind of everything I'm learning now, Musically, I would say, honestly, just an album. Like I feel so not necessarily far away from it now that I dropped my first single. Like it's still kind of hard to like believe because it's been so long for me, and since I've actually released my music, so an album, I would say in 5 years. I'm honestly, before 5 years we should have an album, but I'm just saying now, like that's just some of my future goals. And then maybe even tour, like who knows where it takes me. So I just hope in 5 years it goes further and doing big things,
Amen. And with your positivity and your just voice, and you're able to connect with everyone and all different types of people, it's just, I really see big success in your future, and it's very exciting.
Oh,
so
thank you.
How can our listeners or readers, how can they find you to follow you and, have access to all of your music?
So I actually have one link in my Instagram bio. You can click that and have all the links on there. So it's really easy.
Amazing. And can you share your Instagram tag with us?
Oh yeah, it's Jaida _Aneese. So it's JIDA _ANEESE.
Wonderful. So Jaida, thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much fun to just hear a little bit about your story and just share your music. Would you, and I am putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Would you like to sing a little bit of Liquid for us?
Sure. Let's see. I'm trying to think where's a good part to start. Okay. Oh my gosh, why did I just get so nervous? Okay, so it's like, I'm so addicted, vibes when we kick it, vibes when we kick it. That's my baby. Slay you the slickest. Body turns to liquid, body turns to liquid. I just smiled the whole time. Like it's just such like a little like
it's a bop.
Yeah, it's a bop, literally. So yeah.
Oh, that is so much fun, Jaida. Thank you again so much for joining me today. And I just can't wait to see the rest of your story unfold. And thank you for sharing this beginning of it with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. And this is my first interview too. So that's
fun.
Yes, we had our first interview together. So I had a really great time. And thank you so much for having me.
Oh, amazing. And again, everybody just follow Jaida Aneese anywhere you can find her: TikTok, Instagram. Her music is everywhere now. Go and get it. You're going to enjoy it, and just make sure you share it, because the more people hear the music, the more people are smiling, the more they're connecting, and the more we're all just getting back to the heart of the matter, and that's each other and connection. Yeah. So thank you, Jaida.
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
So much love in this.